Welcome to Prague, and this time it's not only World Cup in Boulder but also in lead, which is actually after long 17 years since the last World Cup in Czech Republic. 2009 I competed at the World Cup in lead in Brno, in my hometown. Unfortunately I messed up the semi-finals and I didn't make it. I was 16 years old back then, and I mean, this is epic. I have never climbed on the center court of tennis, and the lead wall is epic. It's actually the very same one which will be at the World Championships next year in Brno. It's steep, it's intimidating, but I'll try to give it my best. This winter I climbed a lot outdoors. I actually did a lot of bouldering. Even though I quit competition bouldering, outdoor bouldering is very different. And the last 2 months I've been mostly training specifically for this occasion because the level is so crazy high, because if you don't really come here very well prepared, I don't think you even make semifinals. At least I can't do. Already the last year the level was crazy high, especially compared to like 5 years ago. Let's see if this year the strong guys are even stronger. First route, I thought at the beginning I would quite like. I thought it would be a bit cruxier, maybe with some like heel hook rests and stuff like this. The heel hook rests were not really that good. Probably the best rest was just below the head wall, was like a toe hook rest. As you all know, I hate toe hooks. I actually hate them a little bit less since a few months ago. I think I improved. I made it quite high. I think I placed 10th in that route, which I think I gave it everything, and I could have climbed in a bit riskier way. Maybe I could have done like 2 or 3 more moves, but yeah, I don't think I could have done like way better. And yeah, definitely seeing some of the best climbers on this route was very impressive, like as they were basically able to just shake in every single move, and some of them eventually made it to the top. Yeah, pretty impressive. The second route was maybe a bit more flowy, which is more my style, but then there were probably like 6 toe hooks. I felt really good in some of the toe hooks, like way better than I expected. I felt pretty solid all the way up to like the last 2 moves where I fell off. And the final toe hook was actually good enough, but it felt like a really small box, and I think it would be interesting to know if I was like on-siding. I would have probably clipped before. That final clip like took everything out of me, and then I took the two-finger pocket, and I wasn't like dead, but all of a sudden combined it was a toe hook and two-finger pocket. I was like stuck and couldn't continue. So that was a bit of a bummer that I wasn't able to like fight a bit more, but overall it's a 12th place. I think the routes are pretty hard, definitely 9As, and the right route had top, and in fact I think it was actually a solid 9A. and very special style, you know. It's a comp style route, so if you can like do a 9A at the crag after like a week of trying, it means you probably have no chance to ever send the comp style 9A. It's just a different style.
Každý, když to bude cítit, pojďme ho podpořit. Absolutní fenomén na domácím světovém poháru, který se tolik těšil. Na vaši podporu. Jo, Adame! To je fajn, betonové. No, teďka asi všechny ostatní závodnice závidí. Stáže konferenci, tuto atmosféru vedle Adama Ondru. Adam Cvaknu a pokračuje. To je ono! Podívejte se na ten průpustek. Tohle to je český Spider-Man.
Well, I made it. When I observed the route, I thought like this is gonna be so tough. Like, I think we agreed it was like the most physical route we've ever seen on a comp. It turned out to be maybe a little less physical than we thought, but still really burly, really physical. And you know, all the difficulty is just like stacked hard moves on the top of each other with very poor feet. It's not like, and it's also like the moves are hard, but also the positions in between are actually hard. Not that many toe hooks or heel hooks and just continuously bad feet. Really physical, some campus moves. And I just decided I will just climb my old style, just, you know, and sprint the way I climb mostly on the rock, which is usually not the style that I use for the comps right now, but I thought this route is so hard that it's gonna be the most efficient for me And I think I haven't made any single mistake, and I just gave it everything I had. I was quite relaxed in the mind, and yeah, it felt really good. And I think some of the very strong climbers actually messed up and they didn't make finals. So it's gonna be interesting in finals. It is not over yet, so I'm not knowing yet who is gonna be actually in the finals, but it's definitely gonna be a bit easier with some of the big names not making the finals.
Myslím, že vždycky jeden ve finále udělá chybu.
Je tady! Pojďme tam nechat všechno! Tak jako on! Tak jo, trošku jsme chvilku nikdo ani nedýchal. Tak a my dobře víme, co přichází. Adam! Ondra! Tohle je Adam Ondra. Nechal vymyslet poslední. Jde do toho, jde do toho. Adame, pojď, 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 pojď!
The final route was hard and maybe a bit more sketchy than the semifinals. Some moves I didn't like from the beginning and I was suffering quite a lot, but then all of a sudden there was a good rest and I felt quite fresh. Then there was this mysterious sequence that we were discussing in isolation for like forever. And like it was always also quite interesting as like there was a picture, like topo of the wall, and it was different than the picture, than the real route. So we were speculating like, you know, they changed it, so like why did they change it? Like what does it mean? Should you go right hand or should you go left hand? So it was like, wow. But then I actually ended up choosing the other method, which was really good cheat, and I made it to like the hold number 30, like pretty fresh. But then I thought, oh my God, this is so hard, like what do I do? But then because of this cheat, I was like holding this higher hand and it wasn't really working for my right foot. Maybe if I would have gone like lower with my right hand, maybe then it would work for my right foot and somehow I would be able to make the cross, but I think I wouldn't have made it like that much further. I think the bronze medal, the performance by the Jakub Schubert was still quite far away.
Jakub Schubert with all the strength and endurance. Oh! Podívejte se na tu sílu. To je moc sílu. Tak kamaráde, tohle to je neskutečná záležitost. Oh! Ale pojďme, Jakub Schubert! Ten zatím nejlepší moment! To je zatím král! Suše! Tak uvidíme, kolik sil mu ještě zbývá. Neo Suzuki se přidržel! Fantasticky! Teď už ale ne. Neo Suzuki from Japan in Prague! Spectacular! Sora to Anraku dovede.
Už není na co čekat, pojďme podpořit Sorata.
Ridiculous flexibility on this young man.
Nemá to koleno, to je neuvěřitelné.
Ale tohle to už nám nestačí. Sorato Anraku končí. Asi dřív, než jsme čekali.
To bylo s obrovským přehledem. Teď mu smeklo, ale dokázal to zachránit.
No!
Putra! Unbelievable! He is phenomenal. He's still holding on. He continues.
Come on, Prague. Let's make some noise and push him to the top.
Tak, co to předvádí? Ty brďo, tak tohle bylo něco neskutečného! Hey! Stand up and cheer up for the Indonesian climber!
Putra Ramadani getting a standing ovation here at Štvanice.
So I think this was the event of awakening of Indonesian climber Putra. I mean, this was just crazy, like so strong. And like it was, maybe he did a couple of mistakes, but overall it was like such a complete domination of the final route, even compared to some of the other young crazy climbers like Neo Suzuki or Sorato Anraku. It was just crazy. I'm really excited to watch him in the next few comps. On the other hand, it's maybe less exciting to compete with him, but let's see.
This is not speed, this is lead. Indonesia winner.
The venue was built for tennis and for climbing. I think it's one of the best venues I've ever climbed at, and the audience was amazing, and it was definitely quite experience. And I mean, it's still nice to know that I do enjoy climbing in the front of the crowd, so that makes me motivated to maybe keep doing this for some more events.